Okay, let's try to do this problem without a drawing. And remember that all of these were taken from the lessons that we did with drawings. So go back to those Google slides if you would like to. Okay, but let's try to do this without. Okay, negative x plus 1 equals negative 4x plus 10. Okay, so the big idea. We're going to try to get all the x's on one side. We're going to try to get all the numbers away from the x on the other side because we want the x's alone. And then we want to divide. Okay, so first thing, we want to get all the x's on one side, and just thinking about addition and subtraction, I could get rid of, well, I said negative x a second ago, but I could think of this as a subtracted x, and this negative 4x, I could think of it as a subtracted 4x, because a negative and a subtract is basically the same thing. So I just need to get rid of one of them. I'm just going to get rid of the negative 4x. Okay, the subtracted 4x. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of a subtracted 4x by adding 4x. Okay, when I do that, on the left I have negative x plus 4x. Think of that as negative 1x plus 4x, 3x. Bring down the plus, bring down the 1, bring down the equals. The subtracted 4x and the added 4x go away, bring down the 10. Okay, so I have 3x plus 1 is equal to 10. So I have all of my x's on the left. So visually, I would have all of my rectangles on the left. Okay, I want to get the rectangles alone by getting all of the numbers or the squares on the other side. So I need to get rid of the added 1. Okay, to get rid of an added 1, subtract 1. Okay, when I do that, I'm left with 3x on the left because 1 minus 1 is 0. 10 minus 1 on the other side is 9. So I have 3x equals 9. Okay, last thing is to split things up. Okay, or to get rid of the multiplied number. Okay, get rid of the number multiplied to x, which is 3, by dividing by 3. Okay, and that leaves you with x on the left, 3 on the right. Okay, so we got all of our x's on one side by adding 4x to both sides. We got all of our numbers away from x to get x alone by subtracting 1 from both sides. And then we divided both sides up into 3 groups. Okay, I intentionally got rid of the subtracted 4x. I want to show you what would happen if I got rid of the subtracted x instead. Just want to convince you that it wouldn't have mattered if I did the other way, just like we did on the others. So if I wanted to get rid of the subtracted x, I would add x. Okay, that would leave me with 1 equals, okay, negative 4x plus 1x, it's understood to be 1x, would be negative 3x plus 10. Okay, we have all of our x's on the right. Let's get the numbers, the squares on the other side to get the rectangles completely alone. Get rid of an added 10 by subtracting 10. Okay, when we do that, we have 1 minus 10. Okay, think of that as 1 plus negative 10, negative 9. Negative 3x on the right, because 10 minus 10 goes away because it's 0. So we have negative 9 equals negative 3x. Dividing by negative 3. Okay, negative 9 divided by negative 3 is 3. So the answer is the same. Okay, I wanted to go over this just to prove to you that it wouldn't matter, and also to show you that if we would have added the x instead of the 4x, we're going to end up with the negative x term, which is not that big of a deal, but kids usually would prefer not to. Okay, so if you would rather end up with a positive x term. If you have a situation where you have a negative and a negative, you have both of the x terms being negative. Okay, this is the trick. Get rid of the term that is more negative. Okay, so negative 4x is more negative than negative 1x. So if you want to avoid negative x's in the next step, get rid of the more negative x term.